But are you gonna behave, man? Why are you dancing on me? Man, oh my goodness, man. What's up, lords and ladies? Welcome back to another video on this channel. So in today's video, I decided to give you guys my top 3 tips on keeping bearded dragons for this month. So what I decided to do is include a couple of tips that I'm gonna basically be featuring depending on the reptile that I'm talking about. So in this month, I've been talking a lot about bearded dragons and you guys really like that. So I might continue talking about bearded dragons and sharing as much information that I possibly can, as a lot of you guys actually keep bearded dragons who watch these videos, which I find pretty insane because I thought, you know, I knew bearded dragons were popular, but I didn't really think there was that many people who owned bearded dragons. But I guess it makes sense. Bearded dragons are probably the most common reptile out there. So it's kind of a honor to basically be making these videos and helping all of you guys out there who are keeping bearded dragons. So in my last video, I asked you guys to put in the comment section down below the letter B. That way I could know how many of you guys own bearded dragons. But now I'm curious to see how long you guys have been keeping your bearded dragons for. That way maybe I could customize these tips and tricks that I'm making for bearded dragons, you know, a little bit more advanced depending on how long you guys have been keeping it. You know, if you guys say you guys have been keeping it for 5 years, I don't think I need to be saying, okay, you need to change the UVB every 6 months. You guys already know that. So, you know, I'm definitely gonna be doing a mixture where it comes to the tips, you know, some beginner tips and also some advanced tips, you know, such as medication and things that I've been doing throughout the years. But enough of me rambling. This intro is getting a little bit too long. Let's get started with this video. Let's go. But before we go, man, you see, like, these intros are a little bit long, but you already know what time it is. We gotta zoom in. Woo, baby, man. You guys really like these zoom ins, and lately I've been zooming into these back things, but you know, I've been feeling myself lately, so why not just zoom into my face this time? You know, I've been kind of clearing my face, I've been kind of doing my hair a little bit different, and I've been feeling myself lately. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But seriously, let's get started with this video. Let's go. Okay, so the very first tip that I'm going to give you guys is to keep your bearded dragon warm. Now, this is an obvious thing, especially when it comes to keeping reptiles. They are cold-blooded creatures that need some sort of heat source that basically allows them to warm up. That way they're able to digest their food properly and basically function like a normal reptile would in the wild. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you understand the importance of keeping your reptiles warm, but I find a lot of keepers do it half right. And what I mean by that, they are not consistent with the temperatures. So the very first thing that I would say every single reptile owner, especially someone who's keeping bearded dragons, should get is a timer. This thing basically comes in handy so many times, and if you have a timer and you're like, okay, I already know this, well then you guys are already kind of like in that next level, because I find there's a lot of you guys out there who don't have a timer connected to your bearded dragon's enclosure. Now, a timer is very simple. You know, you just plug in your light source onto the side here and you set the timer basically to a 12-hour cycle. So for me, I would set it up at 8 a.m. and it will turn off the lights at 8 p.m. So that way, if I'm out and about, maybe getting myself some shawarmas, buying some chancletas, and I come home late, the bearded dragons will have their lights on or have them off. Now, it's important that your bearded dragon gets that long period of heat as well as some nighttime. So here in my reptile room, I let all the lights turn off and I have a pretty good ambient temperature throughout the room that I don't really need a space heater or anything, even though it is, you know, in the minuses outside and it's really cold. You know, in here it's nice and warm. So if you guys live somewhere where it does get cold, I always say adjust your temperatures according to your household. So, you know, some of you guys might need a dehumidifier because you live maybe in Florida where it gets really humid, even if it's winter time. Some of you guys might not even have any source of heat inside of your room and you might need a space heater. Regardless, you guys need to adjust to your environment as well. So, you know, I might be giving you guys the tips and being like, okay, you need 100 watt, you need this, but it really all depends on your household and how you know, your ambient temperature is, and each household is different. Okay, so tip number 2 kind of came when I was going through Instagram and I was seeing all your messages and you guys were sending me pictures of your enclosure, asking for tips, which by the way, if you guys have any questions that you want me to, you know, answer, or you have any questions in general, send me a message at _LordOfLion and I'll try to get to you guys as fast as I possibly can. But basically, a lot of you guys have been messaging me there and asking, you know, my opinion on your enclosures. Now, something that I've noticed is that a lot of you guys out there, or even some keepers, even myself, I started to notice it, we pick the wrong branches. Yes, we sometimes pick branches that look something like this. You know, at first it doesn't look like anything wrong. You know, it's just a branch that you put inside of the enclosure. But sometimes these branches that are too upright basically get a little bit weird and awkward for your bearded dragon to rest on. And what I've noticed with my dragons, and I'll show you. Okay, we got Wilbur. So what, Wilbur, hey, wait, are you like, what, are you dancing? Like, what is this? Oh my goodness, this is not that type of show, Wilbur. Like, damn. Wilbur, are you gonna behave, man? Why are you dancing on me? Man, oh my goodness, man. Why did I have to pick Wilbur? Okay, ow. Okay, behave, dude. Behave. Okay, so with what I've noticed with oh my god. Like, why? Why me? God, like, honestly, why'd you give me this lizard? Okay, so with what I've noticed, this is like a reptile, like a lizard on a stick. Hey guys, you want a lizard on a stick? Okay, so what I notice with branches that are a little bit too upright, like this right here, and you know, Wilbur is kind of demonstrating, is that the heat source would be up here, and what is the very first thing that gets warm is basically their head. So picture this, imagine you going to the beach and you're basically just standing there inside of the hot sun. Like, you'll be burning your head. So what I've noticed is that my bearded dragons get really uncomfortable and basically want to get off just like Wilbur is right here and go somewhere else. And if you only have this one branch sticking up like this, then chances are the heat source is just basically cooking its head or warming up the head, and the rest of the body is not getting the full potential. To kind of demonstrate what branch you should get when choosing a branch is basically one that has a sort of flat surface. Wilbur, are you gonna cooperate, dude? Oh my goodness, man. But basically something like this one right here. As you can see, it has a nice flat surface. This one's actually fake, so you could actually purchase it, the exact same one. But basically it has a resting area for your bearded dragon to basically just rest on, and he could go a little bit higher, he could go a little bit lower, and he's in a more comfortable position, where the other one is kind of like Wilbur, are you gonna behave? The other one is kind of just upright and sticking up. This one is more flat, so he could rest right here and basically get his whole entire body nice and warm. So picture this, you know, I already told you, when you're at the beach and you're basically standing up and your head is burning, you know, you might even have some like nice abs and everything, but like if your head is burning, you're not gonna have a good time. But imagine this. Imagine you're basically just lying down on the beach. In this case, you're lying down on this branch, but you're just lying down on that beach, and you know, you got your six-pack, you got the curls for the girls, you basically have a nice mamacita walking around. I don't know, man. But what I'm trying to say is, you're gonna be a lot more comfortable lying down at the beach. In this case, your bearded dragon's gonna be a lot more comfortable lying down on the branch and basically getting his full, you know, need for the light and everything that the heat is providing him with. And I don't know where I kind of came up with that whole entire story, but man, I look good in that picture, man. Damn, man. Six packs and everything. Lord of Lion is making a comeback. Dude, what in the world, man? This is the whole video, man. It's literally Wilbur head bobbing this whole entire time. But basically, tip number 3, I would have to say, is how you interact with your bearded dragon is very important. Wilbur here is a little bit of a crazy, you know, case where I don't really know what to expect when I take him out. There's some days where he's nice and calm. There's some days where he's just completely crazy. But what I've been doing with my bearded dragons throughout the years to kind of help out with their training is basically having them rely on me when it comes to their survival. So when it comes to food, when it comes to water, at least once or twice in their schedule when it comes to feeding, I would have them basically rely on me to provide them with things that they need to survive. So for example, what I would do is, let's say one day I choose to basically not feed them like I normally do, where I just basically put the food in there and let them run around and chase after it. I would actually sit there for at least 15 minutes and basically hand feed my bearded dragons and let them come to me. That way they're kind of bonding with me in a way where they need me to survive, and they recognize me as a way that, you know, as a provider at the end of the day. So Wilbur here, oh sorry dude, Wilbur here, even though he's a little bit crazy, he still kind of comes to me when it comes to food, especially water and all these other things. So, you know, he acts a little bit crazy when I start handling him, but when it comes to food, he recognizes that I'm the one that's going to be giving it to him. Right, Wilbur? Oh, okay, damn. See, he's agreed. See, he's agreed. He's like, yeah, this is my dad. He gives me food. Now, I've kind of demonstrated this technique before with BB. She recognizes my shoulder as a way that she could basically come up to and rest on, and I would give her food, and then, you know, slowly I would basically take away the food, and she would just do it naturally with like no hands and me not having anything in my hands. But in this case, I do have a superworm, and what I like to do with her, as you can see, is basically let her walk up to me and I would give her a treat. This is a way that I basically bond with her. She recognizes that in order to get the food, she basically needs to walk on my shoulder. So from there, you know, I might take her out of the enclosure, and now I basically have BB on my shoulder, and I would repeat this process until I basically could take away the tongs and just have her walk onto my shoulder just naturally. Now, I do have those enclosures in a way where I'm able to you know, have it at shoulder level. So if you do want to have something like that, then you have to customize your style of training. But for me, I noticed that BB does love you know, her treats as well as eating. So this is a way that I basically bond with her, and it has worked. You know, she walks on my shoulder, she, you know, she eats kind of, she recognizes the tongs versus my fingers, where my other bearded dragons will kind of like eat anything that they see. But, you know, give it a try. You know, maybe let them walk onto your arm, and then little by little just take away the tongs, you know, and then take away the food, and then after, you know, next thing you know, your bearded dragon's just walking right up to you. Well guys, that is it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know, some of these tips are, you know, completely new to maybe some of you guys, and they might be just a quick reminder or refresher for a lot of you guys who might be keeping bearded dragons for a long period of time. But I decided to put this video out there just because you know, I plan on making bearded dragon videos and other reptile videos on this YouTube channel. So definitely subscribe, you know, hit that post notification bell button, and smash that thumbs up like button. Like, I mean, like, just smash it. I want to see at least 1,000 likes on this video. You know, the likes, all of those things don't matter, but it does help out the channel a lot. You know, you know, it allows me to continue doing what I love to do and help you guys as much as I possibly can. So as well, if you guys have any questions, message me at _LordTheLion, you know, and I'll try to help you guys as much as I can. At the end of the day, I'm here to help. I'm here to make sure that you guys are okay, oh, I don't know, and well entertained. Okay, well, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm LordTheLion, keep the blood pumping, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Here we go. Peace.
You gotta hit that notification, hit that notification, hit that notification button, baby. You gotta hit that notification, hit that notification.